Hello everyone, welcome back to another Pokemon anime episode talk. So, let's just start off by fixing a mistake from the last episode, which I made where I said that there was another thing I wanted to talk about, never talked about it. It was about the voice actors of James and Meowth that will change later on. There you go. That was what I meant in that last episode, so now I've said it. So let's get into episode 3, which is a big episode. So we start this episode off with Ash getting ready to capture himself a Caterpie, so he throws his ball, and by all miracles, as in, this was not a fake Pokeball, and any Pokeball should work, he catches Caterpie! He catches it, he has his first Pokemon! I swear, if Caterpie popped out of this ball, Ash, you might have gotten a couple of repainted Beast Balls from Professor Oak, because those are the only Pokeballs that are known to fail unless a specific requirement has been met, as in Ultra Beast. But he does. He catches the Caterpie, and then for the next couple of minutes, we have a little bit of hijinks with the fact that Misty is entirely afraid of Bug-type Pokemon, which makes me question something, technically later on, but I'll talk about it right now, which is the fact that Misty loves Water-type Pokemon. However, what would she do about a Water Bug-type? You know? How would that work out? Would she be afraid or would she like it? Because it's a bug. And she doesn't like bugs, but it's also water and she loves it, so I don't know. But yeah, but we get a little bit of hijinks with that, especially because Caterpie loves Misty. And Misty is just an actual horrible, horrible person. A monster, if you will, towards Caterpie, rejecting it after it expresses its love for Misty, but no. So, during the nighttime, Ash and Misty go to sleep. And Caterpie basically tells Pikachu how it wants to evolve, grow big, and eventually become a Butterfree. Now Pikachu probably gives some encouragement back towards Caterpie, as in, you can do it, don't you worry about it. But Caterpie is still sad that Misty doesn't like him, so the next morning, Misty wakes up with Caterpie next to her. So that's a bit of a fright. But that fright doesn't really last all that long because a Pidgeotto appears. And Ash wants that Pidgeotto. So Ash throws a Pokeball at Pidgeotto, which Pidgeotto just instantly blocks. And it's like, how did you find that thing? That is a 1% encounter, thanks to the anime in Pokemon Yellow. In Pokemon Yellow, because of the anime, you can have a 1% chance of getting a level 9 Pidgeotto wild. However, that thing is not as easy to catch as it may look. So Ash's like, alright, fine, I'll send in a Pokemon. So he sends in Caterpie. And even though Misty is a horrible monster, she also is like, that's a horrible idea, what are you doing? That's a worm for a bird. You're just feeding the thing. So Pidgeotto tries to get Caterpie, and it doesn't really work because Caterpie keeps on dodging. So, when Ash says, Caterpie, fight! Caterpie is ready to fight, but gets hit by Pidgeotto and basically gets knocked out. And before Pidgeotto can, I don't know, kill it, I guess, Ash returns it into the Pokeball, sends in Pikachu, and one Thunder Shock and a Pokeball later, and Ash has caught 2 Pokemon. And I saw a little bit of trivia about this on the Bulbapedia. And that says this is the first episode in which a main character catches more than 1 Pokemon of different species, as in Caterpie and Pidgeotto. This will not occur again until 1088 episodes later in the episode, in the English dub titled, Working My Way Back to Mew. That's insane. In this episode, Ash catches 2 Pokemon, and that will never happen, a different Pokemon, and that will never happen again. What an insane thing. But now Ash has caught Pidgeotto, and he's like, I did it! But then, Misty, in the Japanese version, slaps Ash. However, she doesn't in the English version. But you still hear the slap. You just hear the slapping noise for no reason at all. But she's like, Caterpie could have been killed. What's wrong with you? Okay, however, she can't stay mad for long because Team Rocket appears and are ready to capture Pikachu. And Jesse and James basically start explaining how powerful that Pikachu is. And then Meowth attacks them. And then Meowth explains how powerful Pikachu is. And then they attack Meowth because, like, don't reveal everything. However, when they talk about how strong Pikachu is, you know that Pikachu was supercharged, right? Thanks to the bike, in order to do what it did. It was supercharged. I don't really think that's really all that fair. I mean, this is a special type of Pikachu. You'll find that out later on. We're getting close to that first gym where we learn truly how special this Pikachu is. But before the battle can begin, Coffee blinds Pikachu with sludge in the eyes. So Ash wants to send in Caterpie, but it cannot because Caterpie's too weak from the battle with Pidgeotto. So he sends in Pidgeotto, who tries valiantly, but 2 against 1. is a bit unfair. Which also they make a point out of. Ash defends the fact that he's not allowed to use more than one Pokemon, or the fact that Ash and Misty are not allowed to team up, because of the fact that that is against Pokemon League rules. And my brain always went to the fact this man has never heard of a double battle, because that is so popular right now, as popular as in the VGC official Pokemon tournaments use the double battle format. But here Ash is like, it's illegal to use two Pokemon in one battle. It's like, this guy needs to get the Hoenn fast in order to undo that stuff. But Pidgeotto, sadly enough, cannot handle two opponents at once, so loses the battle. So Ash tries to fight, but that does not work either, because James just holds him off and flicks him away. So afterwards, Ash is like, I got no other choice. In order to save Pikachu, I have to send out Caterpie. So Caterpie comes in. Caterpie's a bit scared because Ekans and Coffee are there. But then Pikachu gives words of encouragement, which causes Caterpie to be ready for battle. So they charge Caterpie, and then Ash remembers a move. So Ash is like, you, String Shot! And I swear to you, this is not what String Shot does in the game. It just lowers the speed stat. But Caterpie basically turns Coffee into a ball and basically suffocates Ekans, I guess. Because I don't know if there are holes in there for Ekans to breathe. And then Caterpie tackles the Coffee into the Ekans. They fly away. And Jesse and James are like, we just lost to a Caterpie. And then after that, Meowth is like, alright, let me at him. Which is also a special thing. Meowth can talk. There you go. That's a special thing. I forgot to say that in the last episode as well. But Meowth is now ready. But then Caterpie just string shots it too. And then Jesse and James grab Meowth and they run away. And Caterpie won. So now that Caterpie has won, he deserves something for his victory. Misty, hey up. Because you need to touch Caterpie now. Alright? You need to give Caterpie a pat in the head. So Misty initially is hesitant, but then it's like, I mean, Caterpie did save the day, so I should. So very slowly approaches Caterpie with her hand, but then Caterpie uses String Shot on itself in order to evolve. And it's like, that's the worst timing you could have had. Also, it reminds me of something that happened it was like a couple of years ago. There's someone who works where I live, and she's afraid of dogs. And I asked her to pet Shadow. She wouldn't do that. But when she finally worked up the courage to do it once, Shadow, with her instincts, instantly wanted to lick her hand. Because that's what Shadow does. And that was the funniest thing, but for me, not for her, obviously. But for me, that was funny. That's really funny. So that was what it reminded me of. But Caterpie evolves into Metapod. And then we see a flying Beedrill. And then the episode ends. And overall, in this episode, less stuff happened than the previous two episodes. Like, it was more of like a slower episode. Because we've already explained everything. This episode is here to explain to us about catching Pokemon and officially the art of how you're supposed to catch a Pokemon. As in, you throw a ball, which can work, but also can fail. And battling the Pokemon. And that's basically the main point of this episode. So I like the fact that it was a bit of a slower episode, you know. Not every episode needs to have so much fulfillment inside of it. I also like the fact that this is the one and only time in which Ash catches two Pokemon in a singular episode. Two different Pokemon, because he'll do it again. And we will cover that episode. Don't you worry about that one. That Japanese episode will most certainly be covered. I will be covering everything except for like recap episodes. This is gonna take a really long time to finish. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really fun. Caterpie was a Pokemon that I personally really liked in this episode. Obviously, the standout of the episode. But like, I also love the nighttime story with Pikachu, where it's basically like it wants to evolve, grow big, and become Metapod, become Butterfree, and eventually fly. You know, which obviously everyone does. Even I do, as you have seen throughout this review. Because I think even at this point, I'm still training my Metapod to become a Butterfree. So I can take on that first gym. Because with a Pikachu alone, that is going to be trouble. And I kind of wanted to be in line with the anime. So I decided not to go for Mankey. And instead go and do the Butterfree strat instead. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below about this episode. And also, before I go and roll the outro, the reason that I'm using gameplay footage instead of using anime footage is because I have seen what happens in the anime Pokemon community. The Anipoke community. There you go, this one. I've seen what happens, okay? I've seen what happened to KG Prestige. I've seen what happened to Lumio's trainer Zack, now known as Zack Toshi. I've seen what happened to their channels. I'm trying to prevent that from happening to my channel. Because unlike them, I'm not a big enough channel to be able to either, you know, get my channel back in the same case as Totally Not Mark. That is Dragon Ball related, but still related to anime. But like, in that sense, if something happens to my channel, I can't just get it back. Because I'm not big enough to be able to really be on the radar of YouTube at all. So I'm using the Pokemon games, and this will be how I will be reviewing every single episode of the Pokemon anime. I will be going from game to game. After this game is done, we'll do the Sevialis for Leaf Green. And then we're gonna go through Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Platinum. All different types of Pokemon games. So for anyone wondering, that is the explanation why I'm using gameplay and why you will not see any screenshot from the Pokemon anime in this video or any of these reviews, because I am terrified. Let's just say that, because Japan isn't really all that friendly towards content creators. Just ask Nintendo. But with that being said, thank you all so very much for watching, and I do hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if you're not already, turn on notifications, and don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel, link in the description and at the end of the video. And also, on the Let's Play channel, I am actually doing a series called Pokemon Shadows, which was inspired by the anime a lot. So please check that out. And I'll see you guys next week, where we have the Samurai of the Forest. Bye!